I think first of all, PESEIRO will be number 3 on my list. I think let's give PESEIRO that opportunity. The fact that he took the Super Eagles to the last AFCON, they came second. He has a bit of a good figure. Then we'll talk about Finidi George. I put on the number 2 list. Finidi George, and the reason why I'm saying so is the fact that, you know, let me leave it at that. But number 2 will be Finidi George, and number 1 will be Eric Schell. And why I put Eric Schell number 1 is because he took the job, so he should deliver. He knew what was on ground, so there is no excuse why he shouldn't deliver. If he knew he could not do the job with what he saw on ground, he would have said, no, I won't do the job. So for me, I'll put the current coach of Super Eagles on top of the list. We'll put PESEIRO number 3, Finidi number 2, while the other man who's in charge now, number 1.
I think Finidi George should take the most blame because at the time that he came in, it could have changed everything. If we had won those 2 games, our hope right now will not be hanging. And at that moment, we didn't have any business not winning those 2 games. We were coming from almost winning the AFCON, let me say, final. We know how that went. We had the momentum. There was no reason for us not to have won those 2 games. So it was at that moment that we should have changed things around, win against South Africa, win against Benin Republic, but it failed to do that. The next person that is going to take the second blame is Joseph PESEIRO because he's the first person to start this. I mean, even though we all know Joseph PESEIRO tactics and all of that, but I think he should take the second blame. Even though I still think that if they had given him the opportunity, he might be able to do something, which is, we know how he plays defensive and all of that. It might have changed our fortune. And I'll say Eric Chell, we can't be too harsh on him. He's just coming in. He's a new coach. He has not really have enough time with the guys, I'll say. But that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. In fact, I'll put him and Joseph PESEIRO side by side equally. They should both take the same amount of blame. Do you understand? But Finidi George should definitely be number 1.
Okay, that's a very tough one, but I think I'm going to blame the 3 coaches. Yes, Joseph PESEIRO started on a very bad note, but then he handed it over to Finidi George. Finidi George actually would have sealed it for us because we had easier games with him, but we didn't get the maximum results that we wanted. And then Eric Chell. Eric Chell is trying so far because he's doing his best and the players are also giving their best, but it's not coming. But I think I won't put it on one coach. I'll blame their 3. Who I will blame pass? No. I'll blame Joseph PESEIRO.
PESEIRO, because I think he had the opportunity to, give us the running, and the fact that he was the one that was there before, making this job very hard for Eric Chell, so it has to be him. In fact, with the squad he had, that AFCON final, first of all, we shouldn't have lost it. And then after that AFCON final or more, he has not been managing the squad there. So I think he's PESEIRO. Jose PESEIRO, sure.
Okay, so the coach with the most blame should be Finidi George. He left out our key striker because of personal issues, and we were not able to score goals in those games. We lost to Benin Republic by 2-1. On a good day, we supposed to rush that Benin Republic. On a good day. On a good day. I'm going to blame PESEIRO. We bring the second one. PESEIRO own is because Zimbabwe were beatable as well. I don't know how we fumbled that game. Lesotho, those matches were annoying to watch, if I'm going to be honest. Then Eric Chell, he won his match at least. Winning is, that's the least person I'm going to blame.
Yo, wanna rap, the Super Eagles of Nigeria versus Rwanda. Finidi George has the most blame. Now, this is why. When Finidi George took over the job, the Super Eagles still had a very good chance as regards to the World Cup qualification. But those 2 games were unfortunate. We didn't get what we expected. And that put us in the situation we are right now. If my memory serves me right, I think Finidi played out a draw against South Africa here in Nigeria and then went to Benin and lost by 2-1 in a neutral ground. It means that under Finidi George, we played almost 2 home games because the game we used in Abidjan was one of the centers, one of the stadiums we played at the AFCON. So it meant that the Eagles had a chance, but we lost to General and also drew South Africa here, meaning taking 1 point from a possible 6, and that's where our problem started in the World Cup journey race. Second most blame. Unfortunately for me, the second most blame is not on the coaches, but the NFF. Because they put us in this situation. Nigeria is playing 6 World Cup qualifiers with 3 coaches. That has never happened in the history of this country. So for me, the second most blame is on the Nigerian Football Federation.
I think Coach CHELLE will take the least of the blame because 4 points and he won away, which is the most important. We couldn't win away against Benin Republic in Abidjan. And also, I think the most painful one was against South Africa when we drew at home in Uyoye 1-1. That was last June, I still remember. If we had gotten maximum points from that game, I think we wouldn't be needing all the calculators we are needing now. And also, we saw the game against Zimbabwe that we were on the verge of winning, and we were just a few minutes away from winning. We saw how broken the team was. I still remember Victor Osimhen being very, very angry. Even the coach was broken himself. So I think Coach Finidi should take the most of the blame. Yes, followed by Coach Jose PESEIRO. Then Eric CHELLE should be commended.
The most blame has to be Eric CHELLE if you don't qualify. Because we have 4 more games to go, so it means he's going to be managing 6 games. Of course, if he gets very close and finish in a good position in second place in the group, maybe he does not take the blame. But if he finish maybe 3rd, or if you don't get any win at all, of course he's going to take the blame. It depends on the outcome of the other 4 games. Second most blame, I would give it to PESEIRO. It was starting on a very bad note. Playing draws against Lesotho, against Zimbabwe. I felt like we could have done better. If he had gotten results in that game, probably would have been on 4 wins or 3 wins right now. The least blame will go to Finidi George. Only managed 2 games. We were unlucky against Benin. We lost, I know, 2 goals to 1. But I'm going to give him the least blame in this regard.
I think the most blame will go to Jose PESEIRO. Yeah, because we had a chance to actually win these games. Now, he's now mounting pressure on these newcomers, because had it been we had won those games, it would have been easy. So I think it's in descending order. PESEIRO, Finidi George, and Eric CHELLE. Eric CHELLE is actually like the least, might not get so much blame, but it will be on the other 2 because they had the games in their hands to win, which they couldn't win. And yes, and I'm giving mounting pressure on poor Eric CHELLE.
All right, has to be Finidi George. You get, they say from the clap now you go know how the dance be, and he had the opportunity. This group easy now with the thing don't they look hard now. It was very easy and our start could have been way better, but small things like substitutions. I remember one of the games here, whether our first game in New York here, simple sub. He was waiting till which time we would do that sub, and he didn't use his squad enough. Now he keep us here like this. Now, hopefully Eric CHELLE doesn't pay for his sins, but I was really one of the people that wanted Finidi to carry us, but then he can't carry us, can't put us inside this problem. So definitely is the one. Eric CHELLE is trying to recover the situation now, and that's the only thing he can do. But hopefully, no be all Eric will be the same, you understand? Though their hair may be the same styling, but Eric pass Eric, and hopefully this our Eric will deliver for us. So we hope for the win.
Jose PESEIRO all the days, all time. See, that guy changed our football. We can't play one kind of disgusting football. Who is this guy? Jose PESEIRO not supposed to be a coach. You don't carry us reach the promising land, finish work, how far? You go to play back 3, wait till we know they used to. Okay, we don't reach far and win the match. So for me, Jose PESEIRO na the man where I go blame the most. Then Finidi, na man where we, all of us, we want. Is our own. But how far, how market? Eric CHELLE, the greatest man. See, hopefully it's not a Ten Hag. And by the grace of God, we'll qualify.
Well, the person I will blame the most is Jose PESEIRO. Reason because the pressure at that time wasn't much. You have every time to prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. You have every options available for you, and still yet you did not get a good result against a team that would have won confidently. I think that is it for me. The second most blame should be Finidi George, and then. But I believe that Nigeria will qualify for the World Cup. Trust what I say, they will qualify.
It's so obvious.
It's too obvious. I think we all know the manager that we have to hold. I've said it before. I love it. I love him as a person. To take nothing away from his time as a player, he's a legend, obviously. But I think it's quite obvious that it would be Finidi George that would be most, a culprit. Because let's look at the points gathered. PESEIRO had 2 points. CHELLE has got 4 points. Finidi had just 1 point. And in all of that, I think in all the tenures we've got as different managers, it was during Finidi George that we had more problems in camp. Speculations of players wanting to be called up, not being called up, players losing their calm, players saying that they wanted to come and they weren't allowed, things like that, and all these little issues here and there. So I think he didn't just lose the point on the pitch, he also kind of lost the dressing room. And at that point, I'm going to say it again, at that point, I don't think Finidi was ready for the job. He's a manager I'd like to see coach the Super Eagles one day, but I just don't think he was ready for the job at that time. So if we're going to play the blame game, I'd say Finidi is the manager that cost us the most in his World Cup qualifiers.
Well, I think Finidi George should take the most blame. Secondly, it has to be PESEIRO. And lastly, Eric CHELLE, because he got us our first win in the qualifiers.